Hey, beautiful people. Welcome back to Soul Said Soul. I'm your lovely, always lovely host, the Mystic Mover. And let me ask you something. What do you do when you hit a negative spiral? Like, you just completely crash out. Like, enough is enough. I've had enough. I've been positive. I've been doing the things that I'm supposed to be doing. I'm working very hardly, but I'm not yet seeing progress. What do you do? Well, that happened to me last week, and I was in, I don't know, a flip flop space. A part of me felt bad because I know what leads to those processes. I know this is what I talk about, this is what I teach, this is what I understand. And I felt like you're teaching people to balance their negative thoughts and all of these things, and you're losing it. But then I said, oh, give yourself grace. Give yourself grace, because regardless of who you're teaching and what you're teaching, you're still a human. You are not, outside of the equation of things happening to you. So I pulled myself back in. I just, I took the whole day off, the day that the spiral happened, and I really needed to connect with myself. What I learned was that I was very disconnected from myself, very disconnected from my process. My eyes were solely on this one particular space and goal in my life, to the point where I neglected myself in so many different ways. Like, everything's about the goal. Everything's about the goal. Like, all that. So to even get this conversation today started, I want you to ask yourself, what does my physical body need to maintain mental wellness? What do you need? And I ask you that because whenever you hit a negative spiral, 9 times out of 10, there is an unmet need that needs to be named. It needs attention. When kids spiral and they fall out in the store and all that, that's because they have an unmet need, and they didn't get something that they want, something that they like. It's really breaking them down, hurting their feelings. And as an adult, it's no different. Your body needs something that it is not receiving. Now, when you're thinking about this need too, you got to think about how you can serve the needs that are in your control, because the need may be something that you've been after for a while that has not manifested in your life, but it's not necessarily that material thing that you think that you need, but it is from a soul level something that you need. So I had to sit with myself, and I just started calling out. This part is very uncomfortable, but it is necessary for you to release. Okay? I started calling out all of the different emotions that I was feeling on the inside of me. And some of those emotions made me feel very uncomfortable to say. I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that I'm even saying that I feel like this. But the truth is going to set you free. Okay? And so I started just naming out all of the emotions. And it was not funny, but thinking back on it now, I'm like, ooh, girl, those some dark emotions. Like, what is going on? But calling out those emotions made me be able to see my entire self from a higher view. Okay, I feel this way, I feel that way, and I feel that way. The only person, y'all, that is responsible for changing the way that you feel, you think, and you see yourself is you. The only person who knows how to do that appropriately, where it really hits home and it resonates, is you. So once I started calling out all of the different things on the inside of me that I was feeling, I immediately started thinking about what are some things that I do to make me feel good in my own way, to make whatever that I've told myself that I'm feeling or that I'm experiencing, how can I tell that experience that it's not true and that it's a lie through my own actions? And for me, I've been putting in a lot of effort in a lot of different places, and and I have been feeling extremely rejected. Okay, let's talk about this job market. This job market is ridiculous. I've been seeing some job postings that's been up since sometime last year. Mind you, I have been unemployed for 7 months. Fully unemployed. And it's so weird to me because I ain't never seen nothing like this. It's never been this hard. So, in that moment of being consistently rejected from something that I feel like I want or I need in my life, that made me feel very unseen, very unchosen, a lot of different emotions. So now I'm saying this to help you understand like how you need to do this process. So now I have to find ways in my life to make myself feel chosen. Choose you. Choosing me meant taking care of myself, not skipping certain things. Small things. Are you taking your vitamins every day? Are you having, for me, being in silence and being around nature? Love it. Are you making that alone time for yourself? Are you getting mental rest? Are you having reflection time? Because I've done everything that I need to do in order to position myself for what I've asked for, but the waiting, the moment to arrive, that little gap where you're like, okay, I did the things, where's the stuff? That area right there where it's so silent and you're just, kind of waiting for your name to be called, can drive you mentally insane. So I'm like, okay, let me start paying attention to what I need and not focusing on what I don't have. Because essentially, when you are paying attention to what you don't have, you are operating in a state of lack. You are saying that you don't have, and you are in agreement with saying that you don't have. So therefore, you're going to attract more of what you don't have. And I know this. I don't want to be in that mind frame, but this is a very intentional process. So what I also understood about this process is the version of me manifesting change is changing. It is changing. Meaning, in a previous season, I just had a routine. Everything was, already set aside for me. But in this season, I have to create the routine. I have to build things. Things have shifted. Things have changed. How can I implement a system in my life right now where I know that I'm seen, I know that I'm chosen, regardless of any rejection and any negativity that tries to come my way and tries to root in my spirit? No, you got to go. We ain't doing it. So what does your body need to maintain mental wellness for whatever area in your life that you are currently experiencing? Everybody is experiencing something. Everybody's not experiencing the same thing. What do you need? What do you need? And for me, I started writing down every single role that I played in my life right now. And what do I need as a mom? Mommy needs some alone time. Mommy needs to know what she's gonna cook for dinner. Mommy has so many different things that mommy is responsible for, but how can I outline things in my life so that this is not added stress? This is not more pressure on me, because it's already pressure enough to be a mother, and then you're trying to increase your income. It's already stress enough. But we're not going to focus on what we don't have. We're going to focus on what we do have and how we can make the best out of what we have. Showing gratitude. Showing gratitude is not always just saying, oh, I am so grateful for this. No, it's actually showing up, being a good steward, making sure that you are not taking light of what God has already blessed you with. And that was one of the biggest things, because I was falling into a spiral of being ungrateful for what I already had, not able to see what I already have, because I'm so focused on what I desire and what I'm, wanting to come into my life. So, boom, I'm trying to figure out where I want to go next. Okay, so what I noticed about this had this past week is give yourself 30 minutes to shift your frequency. I noticed that if I'm looking at the whole 3 months, I would try to instantly, so you know how I tell you to say fight back your negative thinking with your I ams, right? I am safe, I am loved, I noticed that it took me 30 minutes to shift out of that negative energy. 30 minutes to be like, okay, I fought back. I'm not in that negative space. And what do I mean? Because I feel like I'm rambling just a little bit because I'm trying to get to the point. Why I bring up the point of 30 minutes is, one, you have to be patient with the emotion when it pops up. It's not going to just go bye-bye. When you are looking in the face of the thing that is trying to tell you that you're not something, it's always going to be like this, it's not going to change, when you're in the face of the lie, in order for you to reverse it to yourself, you have to spend intentional time with yourself to be able to get that out of your system. And for me, I noticed it took me 30 minutes. The first 10 to 15 minutes, I'm still struggling to even understand. I'm saying these things, but I don't really feel like that. But after an additional 15 minutes, I'm like, okay, I'm calm. I'm back to myself. And I bring that up because I don't want you to think that if I'm not immediately feeling better about my situation, even though I am doing all of the things that you're saying, that it's not working. You have to give yourself the right amount of time for things to start changing in your life. And if you can see the time that it takes for you to shift out of that energy into a new energy, that it takes time. It don't happen instantly. That is the same thing with things transpiring in your life and changing in your life. Sometimes some things take longer than others. And instead of focusing on what is not working and what is not of my liking, I'm going to focus on the things that are beautiful, the things that are joyful, the things that are happy, even if I don't want to. You intentionally have to choose to do that because you always have a choice. And you either going to choose to participate or you're going to choose to be defiant. One of them going to help and one of them ain't. And it sounds so easy. It is not easy, but I am speaking these things to you because I know it's not easy. I'm letting you know I see you, I hear you, I feel you, but it can change. And everything has this process to it. Everything has a process. And the more that we are understanding and realizing this is a process, I'm in a process, the more that we can take control of that process internally, energetically, okay? So I hope this message has helped. I know I rambled some, but I was trying to get to the point, okay? But love you. Thank you for always tuning in. And don't forget, Soul Said So podcast audio version comes out every Wednesday, 11 a.m. So see you Wednesday.